Hi guys, today I'm going to be doing a DVD collection / review. It's literally taken me this is the 5th time I've had to record this video because I've been trying to record it in better quality, but that gives me only 4.5 minutes and I have about 12 items, so I just couldn't speak quick enough, so I've had to do it in a bit less quality, I'm afraid. But I don't have a very large DVD collection, so I'll try and make this quite quick. And yeah, most of these I would recommend because I bought them myself or asked for them. So I'm going to start with the action films, and the first one I have is Star Trek, and this is sort of a sci-fi action. I used to watch it with my dad actually, and we went to see this in the cinema, and I really enjoyed it. Like, you don't need to know about Star Trek, and don't be put off if you think it's really nerdy, because this is really accessible for anyone who's into action films anyway. And I think Chris Pine's really good as Kirk, and Zachary Quinto is really good as Spock, and yeah, Zoe Salinger I think it is, was really good too. And engrossing action film, really well done actually, yeah, better than I expected. So definitely watch that if you like action films and Star Trek. Okay, the next one is The Minority Report, directed by Steven Spielberg. It's really good, it's got a very clever story. Tom Cruise, it's set in the future and he plays a cop who has to stop people before they actually commit the crime. I won't really say what happens in case I give it away, even though it happens right at the beginning. Colin Farrell in too, and he's really good at acting in it. It's just a very clever story, as well as having the emotion and the action. It's a good balance. So yeah, I really recommend it. Kind of a classic sci-fi as well. I like sci-fi. And I think this counts as another sci-fi, and that is Inception. And I'm sure most of you will have seen it or heard the general gist of it. It's quite an interesting, complex idea to explore. It's got Leonardo DiCaprio in as the main character, who I really like Leonardo DiCaprio, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who I always forget his name usually, I don't know why. And Tom Hardy, I really like Tom Hardy. And Ellen Page as well is a really good actress. So yeah, I'm sure most of you have seen it. The only criticism I would have of it is there's a lot of shooting, just shooting, noise, 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 noise. But the settings and the special effects are amazing. Next one is Kick-Ass, and this is kind of like a comedy action film, and it's got Aaron Johnson in, who I really like, very very good looking, and Chloe Moretz plays kind of a really cool young kick-ass character. I'm not so keen on Nicolas Cage, to be honest, but you know, anyone else have that thing? I'm just really not so keen on him. I bought this actually without having seen the film, which was probably, I don't know, not such a good idea, but my friend said it was really good, and I think I enjoyed it less than I wanted to. It's not quite my type of film. It's like very violent and not quite my comedy, but I still enjoy it. It's just not one that I think I'm going to be watching a lot and a lot. Okay, I'm going to go more onto the kind of quirky teenage films now, and the next one is Submarine, and this is kind of a good British independent comedy film, quirky and unusual. This one I actually bought with Kick-Ass and also hadn't seen this one, but once again my friend said it was good and it's got really good reviews. I think I found it less funny than I was expecting to. I'm quite hard to please, to be honest, in the funny stakes. It just might be a bit too low-key for me, but I think it was well acted. The next one is fairly similar in a way. It's Juno, also with Ellen Page in, and I just really like this. The script is really funny, also really unusual, and it's written by Diablo Cody, I think, and Ellen Page is just so good as the main character. She's a 16-year-old who gets pregnant in high school and she chooses to give it away. It's not like preachy or anything like that. It's not like, oh, you can't get pregnant, blah blah blah. It's not preachy at all, and it's quite touching. I never cry in it though. Like, I never cry in films. Anyone else? Like, well, I do. Artificial Intelligence was really sad, but most films it's very hard for me to cry in. But you will see coming up one film that I did cry in, quite twice probably. So that's an accomplishment, yeah. But this one's really good. As it says on the front, hilarious and cool. Next one is Clever Clever. I actually got it because I was doing the play in school for English at A level, and it is The History Boys, and the play was written by Alan Bennett, and this is the film version of it, and the actors in this actually were in the play version, and it's just really cleverly written and funny. It's, yeah, just like an intelligent comedy, and the actors are really good in it. Dominic Cooper, who I really like, and James Corden, who's also really funny. The only downside of this one, I would say, is that it will make you feel pretty dumb. Yep. Okay, the next one is a classic teenage comedy, and that is Mean Girls. Hello, classic. And that would probably annoy people so much, me calling that a classic. Everyone knows this. Well, all teenage girls know this. just a fun teenage girl film to watch, which is actually quite clever for a teenage film, cleverly written. Yeah, I really like Rachel McAdams and Amanda Seyfried, and Lindsay Lohan is good in this too. Funny, like bitchiness, blah blah blah. Just yeah. Luckily my school isn't like that. That's all I can say. I've watched Mean Girls so many times. It's just one you can watch again and again. Yeah. And another teenage film is Hairspray, and this is of course also a musical. Really one of my favourite musical films. The songs are just really good and the dancing is so good, and I just wish I was a dancer in it because that must have been the best thing ever. The era is just so cool, like all their clothes, and it's got, as you can see, quite a well-known range of actors in, like Zac Efron, who I really like in it actually. It's a lot better than High School Musical. Nikki Blonsky is good in it, and John Travolta as her mum is funny. Yeah, a really good musical if you like musicals. The next one is one of my all-time favourite films. I'm gonna be honest, I love it. It is The Social Network. As you can probably see, it's based on the story of Mark Zuckerberg. I don't think it's particularly accurate to like the characters, but they've managed to make quite kind of nerdy subject really into a cool film. It's really smooth, sleekly shot film. I love the cinematography. Why can't I say that word? I love the cinematography, and the acting's really good, and Justin Timberlake's actually good in it too, I have to say, and Jesse Eisenberg of course. Like the music, I love the soundtrack. There's such a good scene, a rowing scene, where it's just like, oh, why has the tune just gone out of my head? Anyway, you wouldn't want to hear me hum it anyway. But yeah, this is one of my favourite films ever. It's clever, funny, just really good. Anyway, the next one is, well, it's not really one, it's more like 8. The Harry Potter box set. Yes, I love the Harry Potter films. They are really good. Well, not all of them, but they are pretty damn good. Magical, action, fantasy, teenage films. They combine a lot of things, don't they? Come to think of it, they do. And for me, I really like the 6th one. Anyone else? The 6th film I think is really good. I do really like the 7th, part 1 as well though. Like that atmosphere of that film I really like, and part 2 is really good. I just love the atmosphere of 7 part 1, I do. Film 6 just had like everything in it. It's the last year at Hogwarts. Number 4 is really good too. It's like, they're so good. For me, the only disappointing one was probably number 5. Anyone find that? It just didn't stick to the book so much. I think everyone's probably seen almost all of these, and I've read the books as well, but I forgot to mention them in my book recommendations video. But I definitely recommend the books. It's kind of annoying when people haven't read the books but they've watched all the Harry Potter films. Sorry, I find it annoying. Anyway, okay, the last DVD I'm going to show you is also one of my all-time favourites. Such a beautiful film, not really well known, and that is The Whale Rider. And I saw this in an independent cinema near where I live, and I just had to buy the DVD. It's just beautiful. Like, it's set in New Zealand. It's actually a New Zealand film. Kind of a simple film, but very, very emotional. And this one I did cry in. It's just, you can't not cry in this film, I'm telling you. I'll just tell you a bit about it because I love this one so much. But she lives in a Maori village in New Zealand, and it's just her trying to get the approval of her grandfather. I really recommend it if you're into kind of emotional dramas anyway. So yeah, it is uplifting though. It's not dreary. And that is basically my DVD collection. I have a few more here and there, but I won't show you them because those are the best ones. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it gave you some ideas if you were looking for a film to watch. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. Bye bye!